Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chris's Chaos. I am your host, Chris Cortez, and tonight we are doing a review of WrestleMania 40, Nights 1 and Nights 2, followed by a little review of the Raw after WrestleMania 40. Of course, the WrestleMania this year was held in the Lincoln Financial Field, April 7th, April 6th. Monday Night Raw on April 9th was held in the Wells Fargo Arena. And man, what can I say? What can I say that hasn't been already said about this show, WrestleMania? Let me just tell you right now, this, as many of others have already said, this show is why I love professional wrestling. So from the spectacle of the Lincoln Financial Stadium to the theme song of Gasoline by Weekend. It was a show you could be proud to show your friends, family, significant other in order to help them understand why this form of entertainment means so much to you and me. My voice is still recovering from Sunday, okay, from Sunday night. As you may or may not have known, I traveled to Philadelphia with a good friend of mine, my good friend Ali, aka Face. And we drove up to Philly from D.C. It took only about 2 hours and 40 minutes. We stopped, got some coffee, hit it up. Traffic wasn't bad at all, thank goodness. I was worried that traffic was going to be bad getting there. The traffic getting out of there was a whole nother story. And that led me to get some rest on Monday. It just kind of forced me to just go home, sleep some more, hang out with my dog. I'm pretty much just, doing my thing, and it's been a long weekend, but it was a fun, incredible weekend, and I could not be happier with what we got to experience, and I could not be happier to have been there, to have witnessed the things that we got to witness. Of course, Cody Rhodes defeated Roman Reigns, or Tribal Chief, the final boss, or is he? Now The Rock is calling himself the final boss, but there was a time when Roman Reigns was the final boss. Almost 4 years of being the WWE Universal Champion. He won that title back in 2019, before even COVID started, right around the time, COVID was, he had not lost, it had been pinned since 2019. He'd won the title around COVID time, and just held on to it. This guy, I can't stress enough. Put it this way, I've known, Roman Reigns has been champion longer than I've known my wife. How about that? Okay, and the time in which he's been champion, 3 to 4 years. Now, many will tell you, that's a sign you got married too early. No, we met, we got engaged, took another year to even moved in. I mean, come on. So much going on. 3 years, we're about to hit our 1 year anniversary in June, okay? Followed by a move to Europe. So we are doing things pretty quickly, but we're also, living it up to the fullest. So that's great. We are having a lot of fun and learning as we go. But it's great that my relationship with my wife has now surpassed, and it hasn't surpassed it yet, but it will surpass the length of the reign of Roman Reigns. That's all we were trying to do, Didn't want to have to say my relationship with my wife lasted less than the reign of Roman Reigns. Now, we're still going strong. We're doing fine. Everything is hunky-dory. I'll tell you how it is, the 2 year anniversary. How about that? So, feeling good. And I'll tell you, it was amazing. I was not crying at the end of the show because, quite frankly, I was amped. I was screaming at the top of my lungs, just being a part of the crowd that was going nuts. But I could see so many people get emotional, and I could tell that, Samantha, the announcer down at Samantha Irvin, was definitely choking up as she proclaimed Cody Rhodes as the new undisputed WWE champion. Rightly so. But I was so amped up. I watched night 2 again today, and did get a little choked up. And I'll tell you, I got a little choked up, and here's why. This is why. The referee who raised the hand of Cody Rhodes, I got to pull his name. I'm sorry, I forgot his name, but he's been there forever. And even he had a huge smile on his face. He could not contain his emotion. And it just goes to show. And then it just goes to show how many people were invested in this to make it. It's not just a win for Cody. It's a win for the whole WWE. It's a win for all of professional wrestling. Michael Cole was in tears. All the guys showed up to raise him up in a way in which no one had done. Okay, really, no one had done since WrestleMania 10, since Bret Hart had won the title. Guys like Randy Orton, from the Ruthless Aggression era and the PG era, like Randy Orton and John Cena, to the newer guys like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Triple H shows up. What more, like everybody is around. Bruce Pritchard even is in there supporting this guy. Okay, you can't ask for more to tell you that this was what was meant to be. Okay, this guy deserves it more than anybody else. Okay, and makes you feel like, God, I love wrestling, and it has its ups and downs. It is a gut wrenching, soul sucking, driveling shits of a business. It makes you wonder why you watch it sometimes and why you would ever want to get into the business. But to that night, okay, that moment pretty much like justified every reason why you love this business and why you would want to be a pro wrestler, why you would want to work in the business and do everything you do to make it right. That's what it was. So it was incredible. Incredible. Just a great moment, a great WrestleMania, top to bottom. Both nights one and nights two. Of course, we're going to talk about night one. Night one, right off the bat, as many have told you, it was not as good as last year's, but it had its good moments. And guess what? Most people that said night one of WrestleMania 39 and 38 were better than nights two. That, of course, I knew was not going to be the case for night two of WrestleMania 40. It wasn't going to happen. Night two of WrestleMania 40 is the best night two, best night one, whatever you want to call it. It is the best easily since WrestleMania 31. Probably maybe if they would have mashed them to two, if they would have cut all the matches that wasn't unnecessary, this would have been this would have been easily out like performing WrestleMania 31, and 30 easily. Okay. Easily would have been better than 29, 28. It would have been the best WrestleMania, okay, since WrestleMania 17, 18, or 19. We were having conversations at the bar with people that, would say 18 was their favorite, 19 was their favorite. And I had such a great time being in Philadelphia, hanging out with people and just talking to people about wrestling. We were all talking about wrestling. Last year, LA is a huge city. People were around to talk wrestling, but not nearly as much as Philly. Philly was packed, okay, with WWE. WWE literally took over Philadelphia. It did not take over Los Angeles like it did Philadelphia, okay? The heart was there. They were in our hotel room. They were all around, people going to see WrestleMania all weekend long. And I wish I had made it to Monday Night Raw. I wish I made it to SmackDown. But you know what? What can we say? We put a lot of effort getting into this show this weekend. It was beautiful, okay? So yeah, it was great. It was an incredible 2 nights. A lot of ups and downs, though. The weather. The weather played a part in this particularly night one. It was unbelievably cold at 45 degrees when we've already experienced degrees like 75, 80 degrees in Virginia, in DC, in Maryland. We're already like living it up with the spring. I came home and it is 70 degrees. It's beautiful. It was 45 degrees where we were less than like 3 nights ago. So people were shivering. Okay, people want to get blankets out. I was struggling. Thank God, I brought my hoodie. I brought my bomber jacket. I even brought my gloves, but I didn't wear them to the stadium. I didn't bring them to the stadium, but I wish I had that first night. Second night, I was cool with just wearing a bomber jacket. I did bring my other hoodie, and I did wear it at some points, but not nearly as bad as night one. And it makes all the difference. It made all the difference. We're going to go over criticisms. We're going to go over a lot of the grades from different reviewers and critics. I'm talking about a Bleacher Report. I'm talking about Sportskeeda. And I'm talking about the John Report. And we're going to talk. There are things I agree with, things I totally disagree with, and we're going to get down to it. I'm going to break down first our grading system and then go over some things that happened between each match and, of course, get into the matches. I may not cover the details within the matches because, one, you can watch them. Two, they've already been reviewed all over the place. It's time to really talk shop, really break down the reviews and get to the brass tacks of debate here. Before we do, please hit that like or subscribe button. Join me at Twitter and Instagram at Channel Cortez 33. Also, tonight, I'm going to go ahead and drop the bomb right now. My boy, Mario, I've talked to him about it. We're going to get it going. Two Island Boys. They provide the best sauce, okay? Jamaican jerk sauce, barbecue sauce, you name it. Oh my God, you're going to put this on your chicken. You're going to cook it up. My boy Jonathan, he was showing me what he was doing with that barbecue sauce on his chicken while he was grilling. Delicious. I'm going to give you guys a free bottle, okay? Normally it would cost about $10 to get the free bottle. I'm going to hook you up for free, okay? If you can give me a special one, you're going to want to email me, okay, the secret code that I'm going to give you at some point during this review. So you're going to want to watch and check, enjoy the show. But when you get to the certain part, I'm going to go ahead and say announce. I'm going to tell you what to say to me. I'm going to tell you just email me and go ahead and comment. Let me know you emailed me because sometimes I might not check the email as quickly as I'll check the YouTube comments. But I'll be checking the emails. You let me know. Boom, got the email first time. Hey, you can't lie if you were first or second because I'll check my emails and I'll see who emailed me first. Okay, to answer one, just either A, it's going to be, you're just going to give me a clue, or you're just going to give me the code, or you are going to go ahead and answer a question that I'm going to ask. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to get it in right now. This is all impromptu on that, but you're going to win a free bottle of barbecue sauce, okay? Man, amped up. I've been drinking a little bit of Poppy. This is not paid promotion. I decided to, bite the bullet and try this Poppy. This is a classic cola. Growing up, I drank so much cola. Okay, I used to drink 2-liter bottles of Coca-Cola and Pepsi, man. I'm surprised I survived. But now I'm usually drinking seltzer water and just anything that does not have sugar. But this Poppy, it has 5 grams of sugar, okay? 5 grams of sugar. It has 7 grams of carbohydrates, 35 milligrams of sodium. This is nothing. This is not bad, okay? This is less than the kombucha that you drink, okay? And hell of a lot less than any Gatorade you'll ever drink. Not bad for a cola, all right? They need to lower the grams of sugar in all of these soft drinks that we drink. This is a prime example of what you need to do. So I'm all about the Poppy, okay? Makes me want to say, accidentally, oh, Poppy! Oh, Poppy! Oh, Poppy! Yes, it's good stuff. Mixed it, drank it, the cola. I actually had the cherry limeade first. This was good. I liked it. While it was writing the review, I was getting my notes together, working everything out. Tried the cola. I was like, this is pretty dope. Let's do it with my Captain Morgan rum. Oh, yes. I'm going old school tonight. Bringing a little Captain and Coke. All right, Captain and Cola. Not Captain and Coke, Captain and Cola. Little sip. Very nice, very nice. And if I was going to drink Poppy's Pilar rum, I wouldn't mix it with cola. It's just, I like to drink it straight. I like rum straight. And I don't normally drink the whiskey unless it's Japanese whiskey. I like Suntory for good times. Now, we're going to get into this, all right? The grading scales. Okay. Some of these reviewers, one of them in particular, Sportskeeda, decided to go the Dave Meltzer route and go 6 stars for one particular match. I think all know what that's going to be. The two other ones, Bleacher Report and the John Report, I might refer to as TJR. They went the traditional, more logical route of 5 stars. I'm going the 5-star route, but I managed to make a scale where as they're comparable to just a regular grading scale. If you were at a school, for instance, an A+ is a 6 stars or 5 stars. That's what it means. It's perfect. It goes above and beyond. It is like transcending. It is pretty much like the epitome of a match, wrestling match. Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada. They called it a 6-star match. It's 100%. That's it. Like, you don't need it. You don't need to give you another star. Okay. And the last match, let's just get right into it. The last match real quick. Obviously it was amazing. It was everything it needed to be. I was hoping it wasn't going to be like so much so that it would affect, like they would actually attack the wrestlers in the match and Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, but it still worked out. It was still amazing. I was hoping it wouldn't be no D-Generation X versus NWO, and it wasn't, but it was still kind of like the Bloodline versus like classic wrestlers of the WWE. It was overproduced, but it was amazing. It was amazing. So it got the 5 stars. I'm right off the bat, I'll tell you without saying it is a 5-star WWE match. Okay. It is the WWE equivalent of a New Japan 6-star Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega. Whatever you want. The WWE does not go for these spot fest 45-minute bangers where, there's 100 finishers. Although there were quite a few finishers, and they don't go like 100 miles per hour. There's more of a storytelling going on. And Cody Rhodes, since his time in even AEW, was known for being able to tell good stories with lots of moving parts and get the crowd rallying and really like pace himself and pace the plot of the match to make it very entertaining, very memorable. That's the key. The WWE, they know how to put things into a place for you to remember. I will remember that match, okay, for as long as I will live and comment on wrestling. Just like a match like Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret Hart, Stone Cold versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 14, The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, both WrestleMania 25 and 26, and matches like Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan, Macho Man versus Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan. These are the WrestleManias. I'm just saying this is a WrestleMania main event that you will not forget. I've already seen it twice, live, in person, in the stadium, and on TV. And both times I was like, this is awesome. Like, just everything they did was right. Everything had a like, you knew it was coming and you wanted to see it. Okay? Because at this point, we could not just say, oh, it's going to happen. Cody Rhodes is going to win the title. We could not. They swerved us enough. Okay? I was pretty much saying, this is my prediction. Cody's going to win. And if he doesn't win, this is what's going to happen. People were, throwing the ones up. There were people that were very adamant about Roman Reigns winning. I had to explain it to people in so many different ways. Okay? We'll talk about some of the things that people say, and I'm like, online, in commentary, in comment sections. I need you guys to really start to use storytelling logic, okay? I got my master's in English. This means that I am really good at understanding how stories are built and how they're supposed to play, and whether or not they're making sense or not. They do have to make sense. They may be for fun and they may be imaginative, but they have to make a certain amount of sense, and they still have to go a certain way afterwards. So a lot of people are even asking, well, what's going to happen with Cody afterwards? I'll tell you what's going to happen. He's going to defend the damn thing. He's got feuds coming up with probably Seth Rollins. Okay. He's already got something lined up with The Rock, probably set up for SummerSlam. Need I say more? He's going to defend his title against all comers. Okay. He's going to have to knock them all out. And eventually he's going to lose. We don't know who. Could be Gunther. Could be a whole nother person. Could be anybody. But that's the beauty of it, is that this guy is a workhorse. He just has a connection with the audience that cannot be denied. He's got a personality that is just respected and attracted by the mass media. He was on Good Morning Today the morning after he won his title, and he's with these people that have no idea like what's really going on in the world of wrestling, and yet some of them do more so than others, and he's catering to them. He's entertaining them. He's making them feel good about it. He was born and bred to be in this place, okay? And if you cannot understand that, I'm sorry, but you need to figure out why. And I will say, a guy like John Cena, when he was established as the guy, I knew why they were going to go there. I didn't agree with it because I didn't like it, but I knew why they were doing it. I knew why it worked. In this case, I totally agree with it. And I totally like it because the guy is awesome. The guy is badass. The guy has pretty much done everything that he needs to do to have gotten to this place. He was born and bred in the WWE. He left when he knew things weren't working out. He went to the independent scene and he started doing things on his own, rebuilding himself. He started even working with all sorts of comers and working in NWA, created All In, okay? Before it was AEW, then worked with AEW, signed with them, was promoting. He was promoting in All In. He was showing that he was Dusty Rhodes' son. He was his father's son from this point on, from the get-go. And he came back packaged, ready for them, basically ready to tell him, hey, you take me as this or nothing else. They're like, that's what we want. We know you are a WWE guy through and through. Came in 2 years ago, stated, I want the WWE title. It's the only title I wanted. You think that was by accident? He told AEW that he probably wasn't right to be the guy, especially where he was standing. That makes sense. But what also makes sense is that he wanted that WWE championship. You can never tell me that he wanted the AEW title more than the WWE championship. He knows that's what he wanted. He came back. Has already proven it inside and out. He's a WWE guy that also went to the Indies to test to see what was going on. They made documentaries of him in TNT. TNT had basically already set him up with like reality TV shows about his life. That's basically like him already practicing being the guy in professional wrestling in preparation for him now being the guy. He's the guy. So for years to come too. And also got to give shout outs to The Rock. This guy has now he has definitely played an intricate role in making wrestling really cool, really wild. I'll talk about The Rock. Roman Reigns, I've loved his reign since the beginning. This guy has faced every single person. People will shout, people want to bash that he was, not wrestling as many matches as he should have. Well, he wrestled everybody that ever came out to him and he beat them. He was a attraction that could also just beat anyone. He also, keep in mind, he was also had a whole faction following him. He was the guy. He was protected. Keep in mind, this guy was also bouncing back from being in remission, okay, from having a disease. And he came back being in better shape than ever. This guy has worked. He's now out. He's basically taken the record of WrestleMania headlines from Hulk Hogan. So you want to talk about a record that he did take? He took that one from Hogan. Now, Hogan obviously was in WrestleMania 9 and eventually in the main event. And of course, he pretty much marqueed WrestleMania 18. But make no mistake about it, next year, Roman Reigns, Rock, forget about the title because that ain't happening. But make no mistake about it, won't be surprised if he's headlining that WrestleMania with The Rock. Okay? So he's going to be breaking a record that is unbelievable, that not even the Undertaker can say that he was even close to doing. And that is having the most headlines in a WrestleMania. That's the draw. That's the big one. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, that's the big one. The streak was something that nobody will ever touch and nobody could ever do except for The Undertaker in his career. And that is like his so many things that show why he was who he was and why he was able to do that. But there are like very few people that can say they have those amount of headlines. Guys like Hogan, John Cena, Austin should have been, but guys like Bruno Sammartino, these are the guys that are draws, okay? And Roman Reigns has essentially put himself there. You know, whether or not we chose it or not, whether or not we were about it, I'll tell you right now, the last 4 years, totally deserved it, and they gave it to him. I was hoping that it would have all ended last year, but now the payoff is here. Now it's all worth it. It wasn't all in vain. So there you go. It's been great. Now I'll go back to WrestleMania 39 and finally rewatch all that stuff because I had a bitter taste in my mouth leaving WrestleMania 39. And the spectacle, I talked about the spectacle of Lincoln Financial Stadium. My God, the spectacle of SoFi Stadium. Okay? They had about roughly 70,000 plus, 70 or so. I'm not going to, I'll read it later, but SoFi was at least another 15, 20,000 more people per night. It was ginormous. It was a dome. It was crazy. It was beautiful. It was surreal. So they can't beat that from last year. And the crowd reactions were so amped up tonight, for WrestleMania 40, but my God, it was out of this world for 39. But was that main event better? WrestleMania Night 240, you betcha. So I want to go ahead and talk about this grading scale that I'm looking at. So an A+, 5-star, 6-star, whatever. That means an A for the 6 stars, 5.5 stars. For an A, it's 4.5 stars. A-, 5 stars or 4 stars. B+, 4.5 stars. B+, 3.5 stars. So it will be 4 stars or 3 stars. Sportskeeda will do 3.5 stars for a B-, but TJR and Bleacher, as well as myself, will do 2.5 stars for a B-. 6+, C+ is 3 stars according to Sportskeeda. C+ for TJR and Bleacher Report would be 2. This is on a grading scale. If you're going to go ahead and say the perfect score is the 6, this is how you would rate it. Okay, I'm sorry. You got a problem with it? Come at me. I'll break this down for you. Okay, and I as far as I'm concerned, we get it down to a C- for Sportskeeda is 2 stars, 1 star for the 5-star way, which is really the way it's supposed to be. I could go down and go half star for a D+. D. You don't get a star if you're an F. You don't get a star if you're a D-. I'm sorry, you don't. Okay, you don't get a grade. Okay, that's how scrutinizing we have to be. And here for the record, because some critics have said things like, "Oh, well, this was an average match." Let me tell you something. Both nights 1 and nights 2, there were some like borderline average matches, but God, every single match was at least a little bit above average, at least to a certain extent. When you factor in the temperature, when you factor in the crowd, when you factor in the moment, the WrestleMania, when you factor in the amount of time they were given or the amount of time they weren't given, okay, when you factor all things considered, you can't deny these guys put in their work, okay? They gave you everything they had, and they went above average to put on the show that they did. Okay, so no one here is getting an average score. I don't give a damn. Screw you. Okay, and put your ass. If you have a problem with that, put your ass in the ring and then tell me when you put on an average match. Okay, because your ass should be putting in Fs and D matches for the rest of your life compared to what these guys did. Okay, unless you are working, unless you are like, you can tell me otherwise, but you cannot tell me that these matches were anything less than a C+, maybe a C. And that's what these guys gave them. They gave them C-. I think the lowest match was a C-, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all these matches. I've done copious notes for where I see everything, and we're going to get right down into it. Okay? So WrestleMania 40. Triple H, night 1. Triple H came out ushering in a new era, stating, "I live for this." Okay? Talking about how this marks the beginning of a new era. And now we know, okay, plenty of people online have talked about this now being known as the Renaissance era. Okay. Apparently there have been copyrights to that name that have been bought. And that makes sense because it is an era of refinement. That's what it really means. A renewal, a revival of sorts, a refinement, really what it comes down to. That name is associated with refinement. I'm sure half of you, maybe not half of you, maybe like 25% of, not you, but the people that watch wrestling can't even spell Renaissance. Okay. It's time for us to get out of the pits, the shits of what, we expect wrestling to be, whether or not this issue with, you don't know anything about the business unless you're in it versus, this is supposed to be this or that, or this is fake. It's time to understand this is a performance. It is a performance art. It is athleticism, and it is going to need a certain level of sophistication, especially now that the former chairman is now gone. Okay. Paul Levesque is now in it. It's a new era. It really is a new era with a new boss that actually really cares about this business, that isn't going to just molest it and, really just, just devalue it, run it through the ground until just for shocks and awes, just for the sake of entertainment among those who are too uneducated to understand that what was being shown half the time was crap. Okay. Trash. Okay. Now we're going to see people that are going to come out the woodworks and have been coming out the woodworks to criticize what makes sense and what doesn't, versus people that literally just spew whatever the hell they think sounds good to them. Literally people that have no logical statements behind what they say, no real substance behind what they state. Okay, they just do it because they feel like, it reminds them of this, of some moment from the Attitude Era, of some moment from the Golden Era, or some moment from the Ruthless Aggression Era, whatever. If the story within the context of what is happening at that moment does not make sense, don't say it. Use your brain, okay? Because it's a performance art. It is not trash. And if it is trash, then what does that say about you if it was trash? Okay? Trying to break free. Because we know it is pretty much a counterculture. It's counterculture, but it's still culture. And yes, it is often regarded as subculture, which we're trying to break out of that. Okay, we're trying to lift this thing up because, really, culture, the arts, and this whole place we live in, okay, called America, it's only as good as our worst. Bring everybody up. So, hey, if pro wrestling can be brought up and made sophisticated, what would that say about our culture? What would that say if we could finally refine it, bring it back to the old days in which people loved it because it was fun to watch, it was cool, made enough sense, and it was cool, and everyone got it, And the adults from back then, they knew it was fake, but they thought it was fun and it was cool and it had a certain essence of class to it. Okay, everyone knows what I'm talking about. Though, if you go back and watch the 80s, you know what I'm talking about. The 70s. That's what we're bringing back. We're bringing back a whole bunch of other stuff, and we're using a whole bunch of other stuff. My God, it's going to be an era of refinement. Okay, an era of more sophistication, an era in which you can be proud to call yourself a professional wrestling fan and a fan of this performance art that we so love. So the commentary team, Michael Cole, Corey Graves, Pat McAfee, of course, they had the Spanish announce table. This is Michael Cole's 23rd WrestleMania. And me and Face, we were talking about, Michael Cole. A lot of people don't like Michael Cole. I've known Mike, obviously, I've watched Michael Cole for years. There were times when I obviously didn't like him. I mean, just look no further than WrestleMania 27. I hated him by then. But I'll tell you right now, my God, has he grown? And my God, is it so apparent that when he was under the thumb of Vince McMahon, he had to definitely bottle himself up. He had to cover up what he truly felt. He came out in the commentary, because I didn't hear the commentary, obviously, when I was there, but the second watch, man, he is so out now. He is so clearly expressing how he truly feels. And he does a great job. He's better than ever. He really is better than ever. Cole stated Lynch was sick this week. That was very much kind of a little role that I noticed as she came out to the first match, Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. This was one of my favorite matches of night one. It's definitely just below my favorite match, which you'll probably figure out which one it was. It was a very good match. Rhea Ripley's entrance, she comes out, is brutal. Okay, the band Motionless in White performs her the song. The singer is like all tatted up, all black, like tats, with the same. I mean, almost looks like the metalhead equivalent of basically. I want to say it was a dude, metalhead equivalent dude of Rhea Ripley. Badass. Just looked. They like mirrored each other. It was so cool. And this match had just a lot of power lifts, a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of cool moves like the vertical suplex, the Northern Lights by Rhea Ripley. She went to the top turnbuckles a couple times. Lynch was able to counter. I like the one where she countered Rhea Ripley with an arm drag. Check it out. Lynch hits a springboard DDT for a 2 count. Lynch hits a Beck Exploder suplex into the barricade. Ripley continues to pursue. However, Lynch fires back with a punch. Lynch executes the superplex from the middle rope, followed by the disarmer. Ripley got to her feet. 2 women. They are falling all over the top rope. Ripley, so this is after she lifted Lynch while the disarmer was going on, lifts her up, goes over the top rope, and it turns it into an electric chair. Okay, on the floor. That they signaled for the end. Back in the ring, frog splash by Ripley. Lynch does hit a manhandle slam, but only a 2 count, and goes for a near fall pin. Ripley just punches Lynch, hits that riptide into a turnbuckle. Ripley hits the riptide slam for the pinfall. 17 minutes, 5 seconds. Okay. So, yeah, let's talk. Bleacher Report gives it an A-, 4 stars. John Report gives it 4 stars, A-. That's exactly where I went. Sportskeeda gave it 4.5 stars, but by their scale, that's a B+. I gave it 4 stars, A-. That's what it is. That's what it was. I was maybe first. When me and Face were watching the match, the B+. We were like definitely a B+. It was a great first opening match, everything it needed to be. But watching it again on TV, A-. Got to give it an A-. The second match, 6-pack ladder match for the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. And honestly, this is another match that I was like, man, it was better. I watched it on TV where I could get directions. They could focus on certain things, and I liked it more on TV. To me, I thought this was going to be, I just treated it like a filler match in the stadium. I was like, okay, let me go get a beer because this match is just going to be all over the place at some point. But I watched some of it. I especially like the White Noise by Ciampa, Tommaso Ciampa on Tyler Bate. I liked when Priest delivered a Razor's Edge on Kofi right on that chair. But I hated the pause when he walked up the ladder, waiting. Basically, it seemed like he was looking at the ref for direction. Probably the refs were talking to the other side of the ring, to the refs who had to tell Miz to hurry up and get your ass in there to stop Priest, because there's no way that Priest would not have gotten at least one of those sets of titles. Without that amount of time, he probably would have gotten both of them. Okay? So that really annoyed me. This match needed a little more direction. I still agree that, I still agree with what I had said, that this could have been just a regular tag team championship match. But here's the thing. When I did my predictions, I was unaware that they were going to essentially split the tag titles back to their respective brands. Man, we'll talk about that. But they did it right in that, first get this title and then we'll keep going until someone gets the second title. That made sense to me. And I had already predicted that R-Truth and Miz were going to win the titles, and they sure enough did win the Raw titles. I thought maybe even A-Town Down Under would be a good choice, and I like that happened. I would have said A-Town Down Under was a good choice, especially for the SmackDown titles, and I definitely would have considered Judgment Day winning the Raw titles. It was up in the air, but I did predict R-Truth and Miz to win to win titles. That is the only match that I've predicted that was somewhat off. Every single match I predicted pretty much came true. Even the ones that I wasn't sure was going to happen. Ripley won. That's what I said. Go back, check out my predictions, and you'll see that pretty much everything I said was correct. Do I feel good about it? Kind of, yeah. Shows how much I know about wrestling. 40 years. Well, I'll start with my first WrestleMania was WrestleMania 5. Okay, watching it live on TV. Or at least a replay. I know I watched it. I might have watched it the day after. But nevertheless, the night of, the day after, boom. Got to count for something. The Bleacher Report gave this second match 3.5 stars. TJR gave it 3.5 stars. Sportskeeda gave it 4 stars, which actually turns into less than what TJR and Bleacher Report were giving it. I just stuck with giving this match. I gave it 3 stars. Okay, I gave it less. I was not impressed. I gave it a B, but that's still a B. I'm not giving it no B plus. Okay, I'm not giving it a B plus. And yeah, I'm a little like there are going to be matches where I'm a little bit nicer. There are going to be matches where I'm going to be like, no, I'm not going to be that nice. Match was above average at best. And I give them all the credit for the things that they did, but they're staying at a B. Okay. So 3 stars. Third match, Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Dominik Mysterio and Santos Escobar. The finish with the Eagles, the legends, Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson. Okay. This match was a filler match. All right. This match was probably my least favorite match because it had really no substance. It had no real build. It had some cool spots. Great. And then this thing, I mean, really, this does not relate to wrestling. This is all Philadelphia, out of nowhere. There was no build to any of this. None of it really made sense. Oh, okay, Jason Kelsey and Lynn Johnson played for the Eagles. Okay, great. What does that mean to everybody else in the entire world? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay? Not cool with it. Not cool with it. We'll talk about an appearance in night 2 that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, it was, and that's cool. I'm okay with that. But yeah, Bleacher Report gave it 3.5 stars. Okay. 3.5 stars. Bleacher Report gave it 3.5 stars. TJR 3 stars. Okay. So this match was better than or just as good as the tag team championship match. Is that what I'm leading to believe? Sportskeeda gave it 3.5 stars as a B minus. I actually agree with them on this because I gave it 2.5 stars, a B minus on the 5-star grading scale. 2.5 stars, probably the least favorite match. Not to mention, it was starting to get cold. This thing had no build. I love Andrade, love Rey Mysterio. That was fun. I'm okay with that. That's why I keep it at B minus. There were a couple cool spots, great, but no, none of this was really worthy of a WrestleMania 40. Okay, maybe a WrestleMania 25, or sorry, WrestleMania 26, 27, maybe a 24, whatever. Maybe it was good for like a WrestleMania that we don't want to talk about, like a 27. Okay, but that's not. This ain't WrestleMania 27. This is WrestleMania 40. Fourth match. Here we go. Now, people are, of course, going to be like, well, oh my God, you're so off now. I got to shut you off with this 4-match. Jey Uso versus Jimmy Usos. Okay. Obviously, it was underwhelming. There were too many super kicks. All right. It was not what it needed. It was not what it needed to be. So right off the bat, I'm with you there on all that. Okay. But let's get now, push that aside, please, so we can now break this thing down. All right. The match started off on a good pace. It looked like it was going to be okay, hard hitting. That was great. That it started off well, and that it was fast paced, and they were looking like, okay, this is going to be a grudge match. Jey hits a suicide dive on Jimmy on the floor. He hits that pop up Samoan drop. There's a couple spots here, okay. But so here's the thing. This match was not as bad as people really cracking it up to be. The problem is, people came into this for some reason or another. Some people came into this thing with expectations. For example, TJR, the John Report, stated, and I quote, the match. It was an underwhelming match that certainly could be called disappointing considering how much they built this up. This match was not built up, okay? Really wasn't. Yeah, it's bloodline, the brothers, the twins involved in bloodline. Yes, they've had their history, but really could have used more. You want to talk about a build-up, look at AJ Styles versus LA Knight. That was a build-up. They should have been doing things like that. They should have been having fights all over the arenas. They should have been having fights in the homes. They should have, they're family, they're brothers. Anybody who has a brother that close in age or close enough in age will tell you that it was more like an Owen Hart, Bret Hart type of, it should have been like Owen Hart and Bret Hart. That's the type of feud it is. Okay? It's like, I know this guy so well, I'm going to get underneath this guy's skin. And I'm going to give it to him because of how well I know him. This match should have been given more time. And on top of that, that being said, I knew that this match was going to be good. I already knew. You can look at them again, go back to my predictions. I knew this match was going to be good. I predicted that Jey would win. And sure enough, he did. Now think about this, okay? The temperature was already starting to get even lower. It was bad, okay? Now you cannot deny that the temperature makes an effect. We'll talk about the following match. We'll talk about Sami Zayn versus Gunther, which obviously at this point I think I can tell you it was my favorite match. They went above and beyond. They're going to get a better grade. I gave these guys what I think they deserved because of so many factors. One, wasn't enough build. So I wasn't really expecting enough. For anyone to tell me that this had considering how much build they had, clearly did not came into this with expectations, which you can't have. Clearly you did not understand what a real build was supposed to be for these guys. Okay. And you clearly weren't in the arena when this was going on. Probably would have had a lot more respect for what they were trying to do. You didn't know how much time they were given. As far as these two guys, they did what they needed to do. Okay. For a second match. Okay. If you want to give these guys a low grade and be like, well, no, WWE should have done more. Yeah, they should have done more. But I'm talking about going into this match after all was said and done. You can't tell me it was disappointing if you knew going into it that it wasn't going to be that great. It was either going to be a freaking sleeper, it was going to be a surprise, or it was going to be exactly what you kind of saw it was going to be. I went into it not with no expectations. I thought it was entertaining enough. I wanted to see Jey win. Jey came in. I expected Jey to win, and that happened. I also expected Jey to come in and get the crowd going. Sure enough, he sure as shit did. He got the whole crowd going up and down with their hands. It was awesome. He got the crowd pumped. That's not an easy thing to just do at 45 degrees. Think about that. Bleacher Report gave this match a C+, 2 stars. TJR gave it 2 stars, C+. Sportskeeda gave it 2.5 stars on the 6 star scale. That's a C. Screw you guys. I'm giving you a B. I'm giving them a B. Okay, 3 stars. Okay, with the point that next time, one, there needs to be a rematch. My God, there needs to be a rematch. And they need to shoot for a B+ or an A-. And that's it. If they can't do that with all the things, there needs to be a build. Hopefully there should be better temperature. And if they don't have a rematch that hits B+ or A-, then I take everything else I said back. But that needs to be the case. If they don't have a rematch, fine, whatever. But if they do have a rematch, they will take it to a whole nother level because you know that they were probably disappointed in what happened, all things considered. They're listening. They got their thumb on the pulse. They know what everybody's saying, that this was probably the least, like one of the worst matches perhaps, that it was the biggest disappointment of the weekend. They don't want to hear that. Okay, you know they're better than that. So they're going to take it to the next level next time. But I'm going to give them a 3-star match for what this was. I'm giving them a B. Y'all can go to hell. Okay? 5th match, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi versus Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. Yeah, this match was, again, one of my least favorites. Cole stated, this is Asuka's 6th WrestleMania match. She's 0-6. This is criminal, okay? This is what happens when you let Charlotte Flair beat Asuka, ending her undefeated streak and depriving her of the women's title at WrestleMania 34 after she had won the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. Think about that. Meanwhile, Bianca Belair, she's now 4-0 at WrestleMania, and that's awesome. I love it. I expect Bianca actually to receive her first defeat at the hands of Jade Cargill. Absolutely. This match didn't do anything for me, though. I mean, it had its moments. Like, it was, again, a filler match. Jade Cargill was looking hot. She was, like, really, by that I mean, like, a superstar. She's looking like, the crowd is amped up for her. I think she's cool. I love her. I love her entrance music. So reminiscent of the Four Horsemen. I gave him a B. Bleach Report, they gave him a B-, 2.5 stars. TJR gave him 2.25 stars. Now TJR is going to get into the quarter stars. The quarters and the 3/4. I'm not going to do that. Okay, C+. Sportskeeda gave this match a B-. Okay, so this match was better or just as good. It's better than the Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso match. Really? I don't care if you're disappointed. You can't tell me this was better than the Usos. I don't care what you want to criticize about it. It still isn't better than the Usos. Okay? And what they were doing. Man. This match got 2.5 stars, B-. I'm being nice. Because, again, it's getting colder for these women. They're trying to put on a show. They kept the crowd invested. I'm okay with that. They get 2.5 stars. Okay? They get the B-. I'm not giving anybody else. That's the lowest grade I'm going to give on the bell curve, but that's better than nothing. That's better than a C. Okay, it's better than what TJR is doing. Put him out at a C+. Okay, he put them. He tied the Usos with the Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Naomi match versus Damage Control. Nah. Let me talk to you, man. We were saying that all throughout the weekend, getting chants. It was great. It was fantastic. 6th match, Intercontinental Championship match, Sami Zayn versus Gunther. We were cold, but we were ready. We were ready for this match. This is a match we were very much anticipating. And I had predicted that Zayn was going to win. And because this was a big fight feel, this was a chance for Zayn to have a huge moment. And it was primed. It may have been his 4th Intercontinental Championship run now, but he needed this. He was ready for this. And Gunther was ready to move on. Gunther was ready for a break. Gunther was ready to move on to bigger things. Go and watch this match. Okay. I'm going to go back and watch it again, but I'll tell you, I was very much enjoying what I saw, even while I was live freezing, as was everybody else. Everyone was into this match. Everyone was jumping for joy when Zayn won. It was wild. Everyone was chanting. I mean, it was crazy. Match of the night, easily. At 15 minutes and 31 seconds, they did everything they needed to do. And then some within that time. I noticed that brain buster off the top turnbuckle. It was really awkward looking, really weird. I watched it again on one of the screens throughout the arena, the stadium, and I was like, okay, that's what it was. It's a brain buster. It looked like a brain buster, but it definitely looked a little awkward at first. But yeah, everything worked out. Everything was great. Bleacher Report gives it a 4.5 stars. That's an A on the scale, the 5-star scale. TJR gives it 4.5 stars as well. Okay, just under 5 stars. Sportskeeda gave it 4.5 stars, giving it a B+. That's what happens when you start adding a 6th damn star to it, guys. You give it a B+? Really? I gave it 4.5 stars. It's an A match. That's it. It's exactly what it needed to be. It was an incredible match, even for a WrestleMania. It was excellent. It's not perfect, but for what it was doing, what it was trying to do, is an Intercontinental match. It's not a heavyweight championship match. It wasn't trying to steal the shows at all, but it was perfect for where it needed to be, and that's why it gets an A. So, Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth frickin' Rollins. This match did not need to be as long as it was right off the bat. 44 minutes and 35 seconds of your average type of attitude era type fighting outside, splitting up the two guys, splitting up the teams, doing things all over the place. My God. It was fun. It was cool. I especially loved The Rock. My God, did he look incredible. Okay. Better than he did, I think, even in WrestleMania 28 or 29, definitely. He looked incredible. And even I have to admit that he was ready. He was doing well. And even I have to admit, he can have a match now. He's ready. Okay. I admit I am wrong. Okay. I mean, I don't think he's going to put on a 5-star classic, but he's going to put on a hell of a match with Cody Rhodes and then eventually with Roman Reigns. He's ready. Bleacher Report gave this match 4 stars. He gave it an A-. And I agree. I agree because this was not better than the Sami Zayn versus Gunther match. Bleacher Report gave it 4 stars, A-. TJR gives it a 3 3/4. You didn't want to give it an A-. I'm sorry, A-. Yeah, did you, John Report? But you gave it a B+. Sportskeeda gave it a 4.5 stars, B+. Hey, I'm going to give it an A-. And here's why. Just for the fact that they were wrestling when it was the coldest that it had gotten. And did it for about 45 minutes. I mean, come on. Rock's in tights and boots, and he's 50-something. Okay? Cody Rhodes is going to have to fight a main event match just as long. Okay? Same with Roman Reigns. My God, Seth freaking Rollins has been beat up to holy hell at this point. It was surprising that he's even made it to this WrestleMania. And he's going to have a world championship match the next day. Okay? It's 45 freaking degrees. All right? And they kept everybody's attention. Everybody was invested. Everybody was having fun. Do I point out? I have to go back and watch it again. I will say that people's elbow that The Rock did, where he did the thumb to the throat, he was full of malice. I loved it. That was just the moment. The way he kind of took over the match, incredible match for what it was, because it was obviously leading to night 2. Bloodline rules. Okay, did I want to see a little more? Yeah, I said I wanted to see Seth and Cody win, but I knew that the easy prediction would go for The Rock and Roman, which is what I eventually just kind of settled on. And sure enough, that's what happened, making all obstacles apparent for Cody Rhodes, making things as hard as they could possibly be for night 2. That's fine. I saw that coming. And that was night 1. A lot of people tell you, went up, it started high, went down, kind of plateaued for a while, went up a little more, especially with that Sami Zayn Gunther match. The match was what it was. The card was what it was. Night 1, I expected it to be less than night 2. I expected it to not be as tight as night 2, and that's sure enough what happened. It fulfilled my expectations. It does not exceed my expectations. It disappoint me. People need to stop being like, oh, it's just not good enough, or oh, it exceeded my expectations. No, it was exactly what it needed to be. Okay, and it made me even more pumped about night 2. I was like, oh my God, this night 2 is going to be perfect. It's going to be excellent. We left the stadium. We went straight to the casino for a little bit because we knew that we were going to get an Uber or a Lyft, and had some fun. With the slots. There was live band playing. Got free beers. It was a good time. Got home. Boom. Fell asleep. Oh, not home. Went to the hotel. Passed out. Definitely woke up. Got some coffee. It was fun. Yeah. Got a burrito somewhere. It was like a breakfast burrito. It was good. It was good. Yeah. Took a nap. Bam. Got ready for night 2. Went to this one spot. I'll have to pull it up, but they had this homemade beef jerky. Okay. Flank steak that they dried. My God, was it delicious. Ate that with a wedge salad, and I took the rest. I took most of that, the jerky into a box and saved it, pocketed it, took it in the ring. That's right. I had meat. You guys, while some of you guys are eating these crappy cheesesteaks from the stadium, okay, because I know the best steak where they come from. We were not far from Primo's, there's Pat's, Gino's, obviously. But the perfect little snack to eat in the stadium was homemade beef jerky. It was perfect, okay, perfect snack. We had popcorn the night before. We got some beef jerky the second night too, okay, and a few more beers. Not as many beers as night 1, but night 2, I had a couple beers. Yeah, it was good. I was totally focused and awake and alert for everything that happened in night 2. Fantastic. I think everyone will agree night 2 is excellent, unless you are a moron, hater, cynical asshole, who likes to shit on everything. you know that night 2 was excellent. It did what it needed to do. Stephanie McMahon welcomes us to WrestleMania, announces this is the first WrestleMania of the Paul Levesque era. And yes, it's the Paul Levesque era. It's taken long enough to get here, but it is here. It is the Renaissance era. It's the Cody Rhodes era, but it's overall, it is the Renaissance era. It's time to get things going, right? Start right off the back with first match. World Heavyweight Championship match, Drew McIntyre, Seth freaking Rollins. I loved it. I loved that Drew McIntyre came out to the bagpipes to the theme of Rowdy Piper. My God. The main event of the first WrestleMania. And when he came out with that band, with the swagger, go back and watch Roddy Piper with his Panther shirt, his kilt, just strutting like he owns the whole world. Amazing. Okay? What an homage, okay, if you didn't catch that one. And then he comes out with his music, his normal music. Seth freaking Rollins comes out to the exact opposite of just chaotic, a parade of a band that is dressed in the most chaotic costumes, from like King Tut to like some sort of, Hawaiian god or anything, just anything you could think of, any kind of mythical creature you could think of dressed up. It was just, and that is what Seth Rollins kind of represents, is just pure kind of chaos, de-establishment of the order. He is anarchy. That much he has maintained. And that's why, like, people may not understand why he dresses so flamboyant. He is breaking barriers. This is like what he's always been really known for. He will come back and have a whole new evolution of his character. But at the heart of Seth frickin' Rollins are two things. He is an architect. He's an architect. Okay. He's a visionary. He's a revolutionary. He's an anarchist. Break it down. Burn it down. He's an anarchist. That's what Seth Rollins is. So always remember that he's got something in mind as he's working on this chaos. All right. He came out. It was perfect. It was great. Love the entrances. And at 10 minutes and 31 seconds, it was a quick match. Love the back and forth at times. Of course, CM Punk shows up and he's doing it now. We got to see him come out and we were loving it. We were going nuts. I mean, he came out like right before before the America the Beautiful. And then before Stephanie, of course. Punk, had played his role in this WrestleMania. Thank God he did. Okay. We all know that he was pretty much going to probably headline night 1 had he had stayed healthy and had he had not been injured. What can we say? He still played a role and played a good role at that. We love anyone who's watching the back and forth between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk have been loving it. Loved it at WrestleMania 40 night 2. And man, we're loving it. Even on Monday Night Raw, we cannot wait to see these two collide. Love the way Rollins was selling. You think he's injured, and he is, and he's ready to take a break. But my God, does he still put his best foot forward when he gets hip tossed, when he gets thrown around? This guy sells, okay? He goes the extra mile after like everything that his body's been put through. He is ready for a break, okay? He loses, eventually gets hit after so many claymores. He's got to kind of give it up. He thanks, he tells, as he's out of the ring, he tells, McIntyre, you deserve this. We're all chanting, you deserve this, going nuts for Drew McIntyre. Because we do want to see him at least have that moment in front of 60,000, 70,000 plus people, chanting his name, clapping for him, cheering him on as he holds up the World Heavyweight Championships. He holds up a title, that means that essentially you are leading that brand. So to speak, something he was never, really, given due to COVID. Now, he had to freaking, play with fire. He went to CM Punk. We're seeing we can't tell what's really going on between these two, but we see that they're messing with it. He's messing with him, and he gets tripped. He gets beat up. I'm like, oh, and as I'm telling Face, I'm like, pretty sure he's gonna get cashed. Pretty sure he's gonna get cashed in on tonight, right now. Sure enough, he comes out, and yeah, he'll probably face Damian Priest, hopefully at Clash at the Castle, or he'll face CM Punk. He's got plenty. He's not going anywhere. For anyone who's wondering if who's going to AEW, no, he's not going to AEW. Okay, he's totally going to be going to Clash at the Castle. He's totally going to be feuding with CM Punk. If you watch Monday Night Raw, even more so, you can't tell me he's going to AEW at this point. He has 2 good feuds lined up. One with CM Punk to keep going, and Damian Priest. Okay, he's got some scores to settle. This guy's got a long path ahead of him back to the World Heavyweight Championship. Okay, before his career is over, he might even make his way back to the WWE Championship. Drew is fine. Drew is loved right now. Heel Drew cannot be doing better. All right. So let's look at the grades. Bleacher Report gave this 3 stars. B. But then gives a 4.5 star, an A- for the cash-in. Okay, the cash-in was good. It had a great pop. You don't need to give it a 4.5 star rating. Okay, it's pretty self-explanatory what's going to happen when after a CM Punk messes with him, after he takes him out, beats him up, Damian Priest brings him in, gives him South of Hell Heaven, choke slam, pins, boom. That is not 4.5 stars. The decision is 4.5 stars, but don't grade it like it's a match. Okay, but think about everything that went into it prior to the cash-in. Okay, this is why we're all sick of cash-ins. We're all ready for the Money in the Bank to kind of be just dissolved. Okay, and completely ended. Maybe do it once in a blue moon. Maybe give it like something. I don't know. Go take it back to WrestleMania. Make it a WrestleMania match. It's so not like as cool as it used to be. Okay, that whole feeling of the pop. It was cool. It was cool. Don't get me wrong, because we saw the way it was built up with CM Punk, and we saw what had happened. But at the end of the day, Damian Priest, they really had to figure out when they were going to have him cashing in, and now they have to worry about Drew and Punk and Damian Priest. It is now established those are some of the 3 top guys in Raw, especially when Punk gets back healthy. Rollins will be back soon enough. Okay. And now we'll talk about Raw. Jey Uso has now put himself in, but honestly, I don't think he's quite there. I would love to see him there, but he's not. He's going to be someone for Damian Priest to go through, unfortunately. But never count Jey Uso out. Never think he's never going to win a world championship. That may very well happen sooner than you think. Okay. But yeah, let's just give it a 4.5 stars to the whole thing. TJR gives it a 3.5 stars, B+, no grade for the cash-in. Sportskeeda gave it 4.5 stars, which by the 6-star standard is a B+. I'm going to give it an A-. It was a great first match, just as good as the Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley match, especially for the amount of time it was given with the cash-in, all things considered. Put it all together. I'm keeping the cash-in tied to it. It was a great opener, okay? Maybe even better. So I'm giving it an A-. That's it. 4 stars for what it was. Second match, Philadelphia Street Fight. Bobby Lashley, the Street Profits defeated the Final Testament. Man, I thought this was going to be a filler. I was wrong. Okay, because once Bubba Ray showed up as the ref, I knew this was going to be fun, and it was. Philadelphia crowd very much appreciated the ECW alumni. See, that made sense. Okay, because we all know that ECW was established in Philadelphia in the Viking Arena, and Bubba Ray was one of the key guys in ECW with his brother Devon. Okay? That was appreciated. And not to mention, it's a Philadelphia Street Fight. My God. And it was everything it needed to be. It didn't have any stupid props. I would have liked to have seen some cheesecakes be stacked up like what we got to see at the New Japan show in Philadelphia last year in September. That would have been funny. But yeah, it was what it needed to be. It was at 8 minutes and 35 seconds, okay? Could have been more to it, sure, but it did what it needed to do. Snoop's on commentary. I watched it twice this match, and on commentary, he's making it even more fun, the comments he's saying. B-Fab and Scarlett, the women on each respective team, they got involved. That's cool. Bleacher Report forgot to give a grade for this. So Bleacher Report, get on it. Give us a grade. And TJR, they gave it 2.5 stars, B-. Okay. Sportskeeda, 3.5 stars. That's a B-. I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars. Okay. I gave it two. I think I accidentally put. I gave it a B-, and that's fine. someone did comment, I believe TJR, and I quote, this is an average match. This was anything but an average match. Okay, and here's why. The crowd was very much into it. They wanted to see at least some sort of a feel-good, fun type of match in this card, which is none of that. And it did exactly what it needed to do. So B minus, I'm giving it. I was going to give this match, I was expecting this match to be a C. Okay? Like a C minus, maybe even a C plus, maybe even a D or an F. I was expecting to be annoyed with this match. I was ready to go out. I was ready to go get me some more beers, maybe get me some popcorn. I was expecting to get something, do something. This was early in the show. As soon as Bubba Ray came out, I was like, holy crap. As soon as Snoop came out, Bubba Ray came out, I'm like, I'm staying right here. I'm going to watch this. And it did great. There were no fillers in this show. None. Not on this night. And that's okay. I mean, I was hoping that there would be a filler match in the middle, but that's okay. I didn't care because they had enough breaks between each match. With commercials and interviews and promos. Didn't have to worry about it. So B minus. Third match, LA Knight versus AJ Styles. Man, my God, this match was really good. Really, really good. But there were some problems. One, the crowd. If you probably even heard on TV, it's all over the reviews. They would not stop chanting, turn off the lights, chants. It did not come from the entire crowd. It came from certain sections where these lights were hitting, and we saw where they were hitting. It was lame. They did turn the lights off at one point, and the whole crowd just went nuts at a moment when the match was random and it wasn't even doing much. Excuse me. My ear itchy. Yeah. Ridiculous. And could have been, man, the stadium should have figured something out. Obviously, they keep the lights on for the show, maybe even for security. I get it. But people were just bitching and moaning. And guess what? Those that weren't, affected by this light, they were affected by the crowd chanting because we literally are looking around while this freaking match is going on, while LA Knight is facing AJ Styles. My God, what a freaking letdown. Talk about a disappointment. That has nothing to do with the competitors, nothing to do with the superstar, the talent that's in the ring. I really wish they would have stopped, but Styles gave LA Knight everything that he needed to. This is not a show stealer, okay, this match. But at 12 minutes and 25 seconds, there was no way they would take it to like fifth gear. This had a hell of a build, so I think they deserved a lot more time, and they could have done more outside the ring. There could have been more like stuff going on outside. There could have been actually like some weapons involved. Seriously, it ended with LA Knight hitting blood force trauma. That's fine. Everything they did was right. Just they maybe could have had more time, and they could have done a little more. Bleacher Report gave this 3.5 stars, a B+. TGR gave it 3.25. So B to B+. Couldn't give it a B+. Sportskeeda gave it a B, 4 stars. Me, I'm giving it 3.5 stars. I watched it again, and that's why I knew, okay, this is definitely a B+ match. And that's it. B+. Could have gone A- if they would have had more time, but it was a B+. Fourth match, triple threat for the United States Championship. Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. Had some cool moments. This got the time. I really kind of walked away from that entrance with Logan Paul, and it was cool looking, but honestly, I don't give a shit. Okay? It's a dude on a little truck with a six-wheeler firing some shit. Really, I don't care. Okay? Look cool on TV. But yeah, don't care. Wanted to see Orton come out, wanted to see Owens come out. I made sure I saw them. But Logan Paul, I like him. I like him for what he is. He is a piece of shit heel. Not a chicken shit heel. He's amazing in the ring. He's strong, and when he's going, it's going to take guys like Orton and Owens together to take him out. He's great. He's not a chicken shit heel. He's just a piece of shit heel. Okay, he's the type of guy you really do want to boo. Okay. People saying Logan sucks. Yeah, no, he didn't suck that bad. Okay, he definitely doesn't suck. He's really good. You just don't like him. I mean, he's got that certain, sense of douchebaggery that runs thick. Okay, it's been going on for decades. He channels it. He prays to the douche god, gets that force. He's got like Johnny Lawrence qualities. Okay, from the old school Johnny Lawrence. To forget Cobra Kai, we all love him. I'm talking like go back to Back to School with Ronnie Dangerfield and the guy and Billy Zabka in that movie. That's the type of douchebag we're looking at with Logan Paul, and he knows it. He knows how to talk, sound like an asshole and piece of crap. He's brilliant. Okay, and I love moments like when RKO attempts to attack KO from behind, but was caught. Eventually, I was telling Face, eventually they're just going to just agree to start fighting. Okay, and that sure enough, that's what happened. They're like, all right, let's just go. And I love how they did end up beating each other up, but like RKO and KO remained cool with each other throughout all this. And I love the way they came down the ring with the go-kart, with the golf cart, Kevin Owens and Orton. First Owens, then he backs up the ramp to pick up KO, and KO's like, fuck it, I'll get on. And he jumps on, and it was a good-looking moment as they just sped down the ramp. It was fantastic. And then, of course, you got this guy, I Show Speed. He's a streamer. He's a video game streamer. He's in a Prime bottle costume. He's the one that saves Logan Paul from RKO at one point from a punt, okay? After RKO retrieves these brass knucks from Logan Paul. Tosses the knucks, sets up, winds up for the punt. Man, I would have liked to have seen that. But he gets saved by this guy, I Show Speed. Streamer. That's all we need to say. He's a streamer. The greatest part, though, was outside. I Show Stream is grilling RKO, pushes him physically. Like he's really got something against, like he's got really something to like scare RKO. Like RKO cannot just like snap this guy in two. But my God, is he like adamantly like stepping up to RKO. It's not until RKO just basically beats him up, just like pounds him. I forget even what he did to him, but he just basically like whooped up on him, and all of a sudden he was like, "Oh no, please, okay." Like, yeah, now you're saying okay. It was great, but no, RKO puts him on the English commentary table, starts barking at him after this guy I Show Speed was barking at RKO like he was DMX, and hits the RKO on the commentary table. Did not break. So throughout this triple threat, I mean, they go back and forth. We're going to get a pop-up powerbomb, RKOs. We're going to get, some devastating maneuvers by Logan Paul. But really, what really just caught my attention was the frog splash at the very end when Logan Paul hits that frog splash from the top on Kevin Owens. Literally watching it a second time on TV, the director, whoever was filming this match, was able to cut two scenes, two different directions while Logan Paul was in midair, and I think they could have even done a third shot. I mean, he was up there for some serious hang time. It was pretty sweet. Like, I can't stress enough how talented that guy is. Logan Paul is a beast, and he plays his part so well. He is your atypical asshole. Douchebag. He knows what he's doing. He's incredible. He's got a bright future in WWE. Match went 17 minutes and 40 seconds. They gave him enough time to do whatever they needed to do. This match did everything it needed to do. So I commend all three men. And it ended the way I predicted. And it ended the way it needed to end. And even Randy Orton and Kevin Owens were cool in the ring at the very end of the show. It's great. They can move on to do bigger and better things, to do things. Their main eventer guys, okay? Kevin Owens and especially, of course, Randy Orton, okay? Neither of the two needs a United States title reign at this point. Bleacher Report gave it 3 stars, 3 3/4 stars, B+ to A-. This was the first time that Bleacher Report gave anything that was a 3/4 or a 1/4. They wanted to, they were stuck between B+ and A-. John Report gave it 3.5 stars, gave it a B+. Sportskeeda, 4.5 stars on the 6-star scale is a B+. Me, I'm giving it a B+. 3.5 stars, had enough time to do everything it needed to do. Wasn't expected to do anything more than that. B+, great match. Nothing like that was it wasn't up there for the best match of the night, but it was a good match. And it was, not nearly as close as, the best match of the night, as we'll talk about. Now, this match, though, could be arguably your favorite match of the night. It was one of my favorite matches of the night, easily. My favorite match of the night next to the main event. That's it. This was a match that you have to go back and see. These two ladies just go toe to toe and pull out all the stops. My God, Io Sky is amazing. Bayley, the way I didn't even have notes for this match because I remember I watched it twice, obviously live and on TV. The way Bayley works the knee, her injured knee throughout the match and sells it, the way she takes the bumps that just look brutal on her knee. Io Sky pulls out all her high-flying maneuvers, shows you why she was the champion. For all of you marks that can't understand why Io Sky was the champ, she's one of the best women in professional wrestling. If you haven't figured it out, she's got the look. She's got the skills, okay? She's got the entrance music, all right? What? Because she doesn't have the sky and she doesn't have the mouth to talk? Like what you want to hear? I don't care, okay? She's the silent assassin, and that's what she is. But Bayley was able to get enough moves on Io Sky, kind of get the jump on her. This match just easily slipped into fifth gear. I'm very happy with these two. Bleacher Report gave it 4 stars, A-. John Report gave it 3 3/4, B+ to A-. Sportskeeda gave it an A- with 5 stars. I actually, agree with Bleacher Report, Sportskeeda, but no, I took it further. This match is 4.5 stars. This is an A match. This was an A match, just like Sami Zayn and Gunther was an A match. In other words, it was exactly what it needed to be, as best as it could be. It met expectations and it went above and beyond. At a WrestleMania, this match and Sami Zayn versus Gunther were the 2 top matches of each night, next to, obviously, right below the A+ match. Okay, this was it. So this was better than Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley. It's the best match of all the women participating, and it is tied for the best match of the night next to Sami Zayn and Gunther, excluding the next match, the main event of the entire weekend. Okay, Snoop Dogg before the 6th match. Snoop Dogg back in the ring. He's with some Philly cheesesteaks. No, Philadelphia Eagles. I really want some cheesesteaks at this point. Philly Eagles cheerleaders and their Eagle mascot. Snoop Dogg, he points out that Sunday night's attendance has hit 72,755 people, and then announces a total 2-night, 145,420 people, even though it's actually the TV's graphic showed that it was 145,298. He wanted to hit that little 420. All right. It's your boy, it's Snoop Dogg. Snoop Doggy Dogg, the dog pound. Got to give it up to him. Loved Snoop's appearances. I don't care. And he was there. He's promoting his gin and juice drink. Good on him. This is business. Okay. Love Snoop. All right. So here we go. 6th match, undisputed WWE Universal Championship match. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. What can be said that has already been said? This match, the pacing was perfect. It was just did everything that it needed to do. It did everything that it needed to do. I was very happy with what transpired. Like I said, it was overproduced, but it was still amazing. Okay. The match was 33 minutes and 25 seconds. It was perfectly timed, and it started out in the ring between Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. They did everything they needed to do. Reversals. They pulled off each other's finishers at the time. They went outside. They landed on tables. The pacing was perfect. The match could have gone with just those two, and there could have been a surprise where nobody showed up. But of course, you knew that it was going to happen as soon as Cody started applying the first crossroads. Right after the first crossroads, you got an interference from Jimmy Uso. And then, of course, Jey comes in, cancels him out, takes him out on a table on the ramp. They start fighting along the ramp. Jimmy goes after Jey, who's coming towards him. They end up fighting on the ramp. land on the table. Roman could have, paid a little more attention to Cody, but he dodges, he avoids a roll up by Cody Rhodes and then hits him with a spear, and a near fall. This then we get Solo Sikoa hits the spike and continues to pursue an attack. No, just a near fall. And we get John Cena. This makes sense because Solo and John Cena had a feud, not a big feud, just a match, really, where John Cena lost. So little payback for him. This was a while back, but there is some tension between the two. So it worked out. It was great that they brought that back. So Cena canceled him out. However, The Rock shows up, rock bottom Cena. And then this is not before Cody Rhodes. He gets no. He gets he does get 2 crossroads in. At this point, I'm waiting for the 3 crossroads. It takes 6 crossroads to defeat Roman Reigns. But after Rock bottoms John Cena, we get the Shield music playing. Everyone's freaking out, thinking it's going to be Dean Ambrose. It's going to be Jon Moxley. No, that's not going to happen. But it's great that Seth Rollins comes out in the Shield gear. It's all psychological. He's doing it to piss off Roman Reigns, to get him thinking about the fact that he betrayed him at that night. And it worked. It worked to a T. Roman, he had a choice. First off, he's the one that stops Seth Rollins. He saves him. He saves The Rock from attacking The Rock, hitting him with a chair. Roman's already pissed at Rollins, big time. You can tell, and he has an opportunity to either smack Cody in the back with a chair or hit Rollins. He sees Rollins gets up. He just does not hesitate. Attacks Seth Rollins, and that gives the opening for Cody Rhodes to attack Roman Reigns. It was incredible. Hits 3 crossroads and gets the victory and finishes the story. I watched it again on TV. If I loved, that moment with Michael Cole saying finish the story was pretty cool. It was it was wild. And Samantha Irvin, she's just choked up. The ref is smiling. People start coming in. The energy in the crowd was unbelievable. The victory went on for like 20 minutes and everybody was happy. It ended with everybody in the ring leaving. He gives his belt to his mom, the title to hold on to. And then she puts it, then eventually it would be Brandy that puts the belt on Cody Rhodes. And he stays in the ring after everybody's left. It looked like he gave a handshake to Seth Rollins, and Seth was kind of like hinting at, hey, you owe me one. That's coming. But yeah, it was beautiful. They shook hands like they had just performed the mission of a lifetime. It was fantastic. And Cody it was an ending to a WrestleMania that has not been seen since the likes of Daniel Bryan winning the Undisputed titles at WrestleMania 30. That's what I was expecting. That I was just hoping for. And it went above and beyond. It was better than that. It's the best since Bret Hart's victory at WrestleMania 10. It's my God, I would even make it better. I honestly, obviously I didn't want Ultimate Warrior to win. It was better than when Ultimate Warrior beat Hulk Hogan, as far as I'm concerned. It was amazing. It really was. This is a time when we have a guy who anyone who's got a brain can appreciate why this guy is champion. All right. Seriously. The work that this guy has put in is unparalleled. Okay. The ability to reach out to the crowd is great. And not only that, yes, he is for the kids too. Kids love him. He's PG friendly. That's great. He's PG friendly, but he's not PG. Okay. There's nothing PG about him. He's just a good guy. He's not like catering to the kids. He has the sense of patriotism. And it's also kind of a counter version, an alternative version of patriotism. He's not the American dream. He's American nightmare. He's your worst nightmare come to life, America, in a good way, because he was not what the system wanted. Okay. After a while, he should have been, But they gave up on him. So what did he do? He started betting on himself. He never gave up on himself. Came back and made himself into the ultimate package of what a WWE superstar, a WWE marquee guy should be. And that's it. That's the end of the story. Now comes the new story. He's going to feud with The Rock. He's going to feud with probably Seth Rollins. He's going to feud with everybody. Okay? Who's to say there isn't a rematch between him and Roman Reigns at some point down the line? He's going to feud with Gunther. You're going to probably see that too. This guy is going to be the guy for the next few years. Give him like 2 or 3 years at least. Okay? Until maybe we get like an MJF or something. But either way. Now, actually, I think if MJF did come to WWE, he would be the ultimate heel. And he'd still reign for a while. You want to look at a guy who's going to be the ultimate heel champion. The next guy would probably be Gunther or a guy like MJF. There's so much talent in the business right now. There's so much talent in the business. So things are looking good. Things are looking so good for professional wrestling. And anyone who doesn't see that is a moron. So Bleacher Report gave this 5 stars, A+. John Report gave it 4.5 stars. It's 4, and he said it right, but here's the thing. He said it's over 4 stars to me, and if you really think about the emotion of the story, it was on another level above that. Well, what is above that? 4 3/4 stars? It's 5 stars. Just give him the 5 stars and just call it a day. Sportskeeda gave it 6 stars, A+. Yeah, more than 5 stars. So it's an A+. It's 100%. So me, obviously, I'm giving it 5 stars. It's an A+ match. It's the WWE equivalent of a Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada. That's what it is. Okay? It was perfect. All right? All right, guys. Going to get into the WWE Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania 40. That is April 8th, 2024. Going to cover a little bit about that. But before I do, just make sure I remind you to hit that like or subscribe button and follow me at Channel Cortez 33 on Instagram and Twitter. And I think now is the time to give the perfect time to give you the code. Reach out to me at chrisischaos33@gmail.com. chrisischaos33@gmail.com. And email me the response. We want the sauce. We want the sauce. You can also put in the comments on this YouTube video. Just let me know. I got you, Cortez. I emailed you, Cortez. I'll check to see who emailed me first. And we'll have a winner for a free bottle of Two Island Boys barbecue sauce. You can't beat it. We'll have it delivered to you. Free $10 bottle. Homemade, just like homemade quality barbecue sauce. Bottled. Perfect to perfection. Ask anybody around. This is the best sauce in the business. All right? So email me. We want the sauce. Okay? All right. Let's move on forward. We've got Raw after WrestleMania. All right? It was packed. I love the way that they set up this show. I don't think it's going to be set up like this moving forward, where they did not even have a Titantron. It was just an entrance. Kind of reminded me of like a Madison Square Garden entrance, where there's not much going on in the entranceway, just a kind of a tunnel. I love that. Looked cool. Crowd was all over the place. It was beautiful. And it was a fun night. You could tell the crowd was amped. This was going to be a hell of a Raw after WrestleMania, and that's really what it was. That's not the best Raw after WrestleMania of all time, sure, but it was definitely better than we've seen in a lot of years. It was fun. It was very good. The best I've seen in a long, long time. The best one I've seen maybe since the Raw after WrestleMania 31. It's the best Raw after WrestleMania, it's the likes of which, the Raw after WrestleMania 14, the Raw after WrestleMania 13. That is my favorite Raw after WrestleMania, okay? When Stone Cold came out and started talking trash to Bret Hart like, oh, no, this shit is far from over. I loved it. And Bret was officially a bad guy. I loved it. That is the best Raw after WrestleMania. Will not be beat, in my opinion. But this was good. This was very good. It started with an A spot. Grade A spot. We got Cody Rhodes come out. We got Triple H come out. And just straight up said this was, without doubt, the greatest WrestleMania 40, greatest WrestleMania of all time. Arguably so. I'm not saying it is, but it was arguably the greatest WrestleMania of all time. When you consider all the attendance, all the spectacle, everything that was put into this WrestleMania, it is definitely that which it was the greatest, probably the most watched. It was amazing, and will be remembered for years to come. So he introduces the new undisputed heavyweight champion, Cody Rhodes, who comes out, shakes his hand. They're talking, they're whispering things in their ear. And Cody, I mean, he's proclaiming, like, he's saying this is, you know, I've reached my points. I mean, I'm no longer, you know, undecided or undesirable. I am undisputed. He points out he shows off some videos of on TV, on these little TVs that they're showing, and maybe on something they had above on the ceiling, because they had no Titantron, they had no Megatron, they had no Geratron, but they showed a little TikTok of his daughter saying, "Finish the story, Dad," or "Papa," and he's like, "This is why I do it. This is what I was here to, you know, what I was ready to do. Next time my daughter sees me go to work, I'm no longer going as, you know, the challenger, I'm going as the guy, the champ." And even Triple H had something that his boys in the back at the studio, the creative, they created something for Cody Rhodes for this match. All the buildup, all the stuff, put it all together and used that song, Rise Up. It's a great song. Very good song. All ties together. And it was a nice little segment, video clip. Beautiful. And put it together. It was amazing. Put some more tears on Cody Rhodes naturally. So the guy is emotional. Of course he is. It's kind of hard to be when you put this much blood, sweat, and tears into this business. Okay? He's emotional. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. And he's got so much going for him. I mean, look, he's not. Well, here's one thing about this guy. Unlike every wrestler that has like put their heart and soul into this business, we've witnessed his whole family go through this stuff. Everyone knows what's going on. So it's kind of hard for him to deny that what his life has been through. Okay. His life is sacrificed. No one has put the sacrifice quite like this guy. No one has gone through the sacrifices quite like this guy. Hey, trust me, your guys have gone close and they rightly so deserve that title. They've done everything they needed to do to get there, and they got there. Some haven't. But this guy's done it more than above and beyond. That's why there are so many people surrounding him at the end of the night, giving him praise. It's the same thing with Bret Hart. This guy it was his whole life, okay? It was not like something he decided to do one day. No, he was born and bred to do it. He never like up and decided I was going to be a wrestler. His father was a wrestler, and he was like pretty much dead set from the moment he was born. I'm going to succeed my father's goals. I'm going to fulfill and be the successor to my father. That's it. Okay, think about that amount of pressure, and then think about the amount of pressure that you put on your family, your mom, your wife, your kids, your family members. Think about how humble he must be to have put all that stuff on his family. That's why he's crying. That's why he's so upset. And that's why Bret the Hitman Hart is the Hitman. I mean, the Hitman was ice cold, okay? Because the Hitman, I have never seen the Hitman cry, and his brother had passed away in the ring, okay? Tragically, okay? God bless Bret the Hitman Hart and his family. And think about all the members of the Hart Foundation that have passed away. And Bret is stoic. That is just who Bret the Hitman Hart is. There is no one like him. Anybody else that has gone through what Bret Hart has gone through would be in tears like Cody Rhodes. There's only one guy. There's only one Bret Hart. He is the greatest of all time. That is my opinion. You want to come at me with that? Go ahead. I'll break it down to you. I'll wear you down minute by minute as to why Bret the Hitman Hart is the greatest of all time. But Cody, emotional, and yes, he pretty much just says, come on. Basically, he hints at, I'm the champ now. Everyone get in line and just get ready to face me. In comes The Rock. Triple H has already left. The Rock, man. This was when things got incredible. Things went from A to A plus, basically, at this point. People are grading it as A or even better with 10 to 15 minutes shaved off. Now, this was incredible. I wanted more, okay? I wanted more. We all wanted more. The Rock comes in, and like, I'm just here to give you your flowers. People are cheering The Rock, and because he's patiently waiting for him to shut the hell up, they start booing The Rock. Fickle crowd. But that's just the way it is. I mean, emotions are all over the place. They're very fluid at this moment. You want to cheer The Rock because of how awesome he is, but you want to boo him because of his place in this whole storyline. You want to boo him because of his place in the behind the scenes. So he is a very polarizing figure, literally to each and every person that watches him. Okay, you love him, you hate him, but you can't help but be entertained by him. Tells everybody, we've broken more records we've broken so many records. You broke records, Cody. We all broke records for WrestleMania attendance records and all sorts of things. But tonight we are breaking another record. Philly, what? Set another record. What? For the largest gathering. What? Of trailer park trash. And they went crazy. They loved it. They're clapping him. They're eating it up because, oh man, how far from the truth is it really? And you can chant the shut the fuck up now, you pieces of trash. They were blocking. They chanted the shut the F up. The USA had to block out, tone out the F word so many times from the crowd. My God, I can't wait till we get to Netflix and they don't have to do that. I hope to God they won't do that. They won't. And it'll be amazing. And I loved The Rock's response. The way he said it sounded like, the way a father figure would say it to their stupid kids, okay, where they're acting like pieces of crap. You can shut the fuck up now. It was beautiful. The way he says it is just with complete disregard for the crowd and amazing. And we ate it up. Nobody can touch The Rock. As I've said before, you try to put him down, he's just going to put you that much deeper into the crowd. But yeah. And prior to that, Cody Rhodes did give props to Roman Reigns and his title reign, and that nobody could really touch Roman Reigns, and that he was essentially the guy destined to defeat Roman Reigns. And The Rock essentially was giving flowers to Cody Rhodes. Then he looks at the title, the WWE title. It looks really great on you. I'd like to hold that title. Cody's like, oh. And meanwhile, Rock is still, showing off his Rock title that the widow of Muhammad Ali, if I'm not mistaken, had given to The Rock at the Hall of Fame this WrestleMania weekend. And Cody's like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll let you hold it, but I want to hold on to that one. I mean, kind of like a little, little barter, a little trade for trade for, while you give me that, I'm going to give you, I'll give you this title. You're going to let me hold on to this thing. And Rock puts it on, and even the crowd says, this is awkward. I love that. I loved it. It was awkward. It was very cringe on purpose, rightfully so. And Rock smiles. He's like, oh, this feels right. Oh, man, it does not. It is so not right. But it was so great. It was so great. Puts the belt on and at one point. I mean, and essentially, sooner or later, we are going to collide. It's coming. I'm gonna head off into the sunset. The crowd's chanting, na, 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 hey, 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 goodbye. I haven't heard that in a while. I liked it. Rock, go back to your Hollywood. Go back to whatever it is you do, and come back whenever you're ready, because we'll be ready for you. It's, time for The Rock to go. He's done what he's needed to do for now. He'll be back, and he'll be working behind the scenes. So, plus he's got the UFL to deal with, parts of that. But he hands Cody something, and he says, you don't even have to look at it. You'll feel it. Once I hand it to you, you'll know what it is. And he says, don't ever break my heart again. My God, what did that even mean? Does that refer to the fact that you ruined the main event that we wanted so much between me and Roman? You broke my heart in that you defeated my nephew, rather, if I'm not mistaken. It's very telling as to what the hell he meant. Is this something that belonged to Dusty and you basically ruined my dream? Because he did definitely give props to Dusty Rhodes, being up in heaven, saying how proud he would be of his son, and his mom was proud. Everybody was proud. But the way it came off was also a little awkward. Only The Rock could pull this off. It would almost sounded like he was like the Cody Rhodes had just literally dumped him. But of course, it's The Rock, and only he could get away with saying something like this and not coming off as being overly ambiguous. Clearly Cody did something that pissed him off. And Cody was pissed. He held on. He looked at it real quick at what was in his hand, and he was just getting pissed. So we are going to find out what the hell was in that was given him, that was in Cody's hands, that was given to him by The Rock. And then he left. So just an A+ moment. Couldn't have been better. was hoping that this Raw would hold on to this kind of moment. And it did to a certain extent, but it did go down a little bit. And you look at the grades from Bleacher Report, from WrestleZone, etc. We got the next match. Oh my God, this was perfect. I mean, I was so excited. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ilya Dragunov. My God, I wish that these two could be working. Nakamura so deserved a moment on the card. And he at least gets this moment on. He starts the first match of the Raw after WrestleMania, which I hope is telling of things to come for Shinsuke. And you know Triple H is high on Shinsuke. And Shinsuke can get back into where he was several years ago. If he can get in shape, he's in shape. But if he can get to that next level, back in the shape that he was in, just a little bit better than he was, he could be back on the scene and have a place in WrestleMania. My God. This match was, a great, you got to see the talent like Dragunov. This also was signaling the fact that we have a draft coming and we are going to see guys and girls from NXT come in. So that's what this Raw was about, really. And that's fine. That was great. I love the purpose of that is put into this show. There's purpose. There is stuff that's going to make me want to see next week's Monday Night Raw, this week's SmackDown. I am invested. We are all invested. Dragunov had a nice little match with Shinsuke Nakamura. They went at it for a little while. It was under 10 minutes. It was a B match. Dragunov, rightfully so, won. It sucks to see someone like Nakamura lose at this point, but he could not beat Dragunov, not now. So it was a nice moment. We get the Judgment Day promo 6-man tag team match, followed by a 6-man tag team match. This was cool. We got Damian Priest coming out with a brand new suit, looking sharp, looking like a champion, looking like the gothic dark champion of the Judgment Day, the heavyweight champion. We got the Terror Twins now in Priest and Rhea Ripley. She's out there with her title. And you got Finn Balor, Dirty Dom, and JD McDonough wearing champion t-shirts. Just really hinting at, okay, something's missing and that they are gunning for titles. I have already just kind of thought about this, and it would make a lot of sense. Down the road, we get Dirty Dominik Mysterio, and JD McDonough become a tag team, aka the Dirty D's. All right? And go after the Raw Tag Team Championships. I could see them totally defeat R-Truth and Miz, win the tag titles. Boom. Meanwhile, Finn Balor, he could get another run at the Intercontinental title, beat Sami Zayn. He could be the next guy in line to beat Sami Zayn. A little bit down the line. And I can see all 5 members of Judgment Day hold every single Raw title in the brand. And that's it. That's probably I would like to see it happen. It looks like it's going to happen. Face and I actually were just talking about, I miss the days when in factions, he was pointing out when the whole faction had belts. That's cool. I do miss that too. I do like that. And I actually see it coming right back. At some point they were talking, and of course R-Truth came in and during the promo and was raising his belt, one of the Raw tag team titles, and saying, what are you showcasing it like he's part of the team. And Damian Priest is like, come on now. We're not doing this again. You're not in the Judgment Day. He's like, what are you talking about? I brought the belts back to the Judgment Day. Hilarious. The geniusness of the stupidity is uncanny. It's unbelievable. He brought the belts back to the Judgment Day. Miz came in. He's like, I want to be in the Judgment Day. I'm in the Judgment Day. Miz is too. Miz came out. No, I don't want to be in the Judgment Day. I need you to come on this side of the line. And even Judgment Day was like, yeah, go with Miz. They agree with Miz. They had a little argument. They're basically, you got the 3 non-champions, Finn Balor, JD, and Dirty Dom, challenge R-Truth, Miz, and apparently a mystery opponent that R-Truth says you cannot see. He's right here. You can't see him. Head to that John Cena. So they have a match and comes off as a handicap match, but sure enough, Cena comes in and defeats, teams up with Truth and Miz and defeats Mysterio, McDonough, and Balor. And it was fun. Bleacher Report gave it a C plus. I'd give it a B minus. I mean, for what it is, this is a Monday Night Raw, by the way. I mean, yeah, it's the Raw after WrestleMania, but this was a fun match. So for what it was, it's easily a B minus. I'd keep it at a B minus, more than a C plus. It's great to see R-Truth and Miz finally have titles after all the work that they've put in together throughout all the years. It's fun. Then you got Roxanne Perez versus Indy Hartwell. I didn't really pay attention much to this match. Might go back to see these two. They are going to be going up. I know that Perez should be maybe on NXT. I'll have to go back and watch that. But Perez defeated Hartwell. Bleacher gave it B plus. I don't know. I need to go back and maybe watch this. A B plus. Let's see how good it was. But that's telling of how good this Raw was. So I'm okay with that. Of course, what we did notice was Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley backstage having a little brawl. A lot of people were like, "Oh, this is intense." Just the way there was, I believe, a chair shot. I'm watching it. I'm like not too invested, but quite frankly, it was out of nowhere, and I'm not invested in NXT women's wrestlers, nor am I invested that much in Liv Morgan. I'm sorry, I'm not. I need to see more from her. And this is good. This is what I'm talking about. I'm appreciating this, the way she came out with intensity. Let's see more of it. Okay, I'm totally cool with it. And then Sami Zayn and Chad Gable versus Imperium. They have a little segment. Sami Zayn, he comes out to the ring thanking everybody. He was about to thank Chad Gable, especially when Imperium came out. Giovanni, Ludwig Kaiser, they came out. They're talking about righting the wrongs that you've done to our champion. You've just pretty much just ruined a great thing in Gunther's reign. So they go up against. They start attacking Sami Zayn, but in comes Chad Gable, and we get a tag team match. A great little tag team match. B plus, absolutely rightfully so. It was great. It was definitely, it's setting up for the match between Chad Gable and Sami Zayn. I think that's a great first challenger for Sami Zayn. I think that it could lead to a Chad Gable heel turn. But I and would not expect Gable to remain a face. And I do expect Chad Gable to win a mid-card championship down the line. He totally deserves it. I just don't think it's quite right for him right now. I could see Chad Gable defeat Finn Balor down the line, and we would see the rise of Chad Gable as an Intercontinental Champion. That would be great. But that's long-term booking for you. So I do see the natural process being Zayn to Balor to Gable, okay, throughout the year. That would make sense. And then we've got, but yeah, it was definitely worthy of B plus, on the Raw after WrestleMania. It was a good little match. Then you got Jade Cargill versus Chelsea Green. This was a squash match. Bleacher gave it a C minus. No. For what it was, it's easily a B minus, maybe even a B. Why? Because this is exactly the way this lady should be booked. This is the way Jade Cargill should be booked against a Chelsea Green. She is Joe Cronin. He compared her to a Hulk Hogan. That is kind of like exactly who she is in her look, her style, and her strength. She's too much. She is really an attraction. Like no other. They need to protect her, not show, to not let her expose how green she is. She's got a lot of work ahead of her. But she is like the next, like, ninth wonder of the world. Not gonna be China, but I'm saying like she's the next spectacle wrestler. I could see her beating Bianca Belair. And I could see her being the one to dethrone Rhea Ripley down the line. She's got the look. She's got the style. She's got the presence. Okay. That's really what it is. Can she go in the ring? No, but she can work on it. And that's really what it is. So protect her, let her squash a Chelsea Green. Okay. And yeah, I'd like to see her work a little more down the line, but please protect this woman. So that was fine. I'd give it a B-. Fatal 4-way, number 1 contender match. We got a nice little match. I saw Ricochet do a couple wild things, high-flying things. I liked Bronson Reed, powerhouse, Jey Uso, kind of like the underdog. And, of course, Drew McIntyre, the expected winner of the match, who lost due to disruptions from, you guessed it, CM Punk, leading to Jey Uso. The only guy I thought who would win other than Drew McIntyre win this thing. And so it will be set up for the first challenger to Damian Priest's title is Jey Uso. Perfect person to face Damian Priest. Okay, someone who can take the loss and go back to his business. Someone who needs something to do right now. Okay, this is perfect for him. And it was a B match. I agree. This was a B, maybe even a B+ match. It was definitely a B. So that being said, overall, this grade was given a B+, especially because that A+ beginning. And I agree. It was overall a B+ show. That's great. It's above average. It's getting close to, going above and beyond. But it was right where it needed to be for a Raw after WrestleMania. Could it have been better? Absolutely. It absolutely could have been better. There could have been, quite frankly, a little more time given to those who needed a little more time with their matches. There could have been decisions made to avoid things like Shinsuke taking a loss. There could have been a little more action from Jade Cargill. I understand people are not too happy with just a squash. We want to see more from Jade. I understand. And of course, the match between Imperium and Chad Gable and Sami Zayn was just as good as it needed to be. But across the board, it could have been better at other points. See what I mean? It went so high and then just kind of had nowhere else to go but down. That's all. Everything did exactly what it needed to do. Shout out to the whole roster and everything they did. They did great. But that first segment was just so damn good. That's what it was. It was so damn good. Maybe put that in the middle. Okay, but it had to be in the end. In the beginning. And it's interesting. That's what I was thinking is that the WWE has been using this storyline pace, in which it starts high, goes down, plateaus a little bit, but then goes back high again, and then ends on a high note. I'm okay with that. Leaves me wanting more. Leaving us wanting more. That's for damn sure. So I'm okay with it, guys. It's been great. That is your Monday Night Raw review. Here's a couple final thoughts though. The things that I want to pray on is that they continue. Let me pray on this, please. Hallelujah. One, they continue to develop the women's divisions. Okay, just continue to do that for the love of God. I love Rhea Ripley so much. I love Jade Cargill. I love Bianca Belair. I love Bayley. I love Io Sky. Love Asuka. Dakota Kai. Kairi Sane. These women are so incredible, man. Please put some development into this roster so that they have tag team, maybe some real tag teams. They have a women's tag team division that is just non-existent. Come up with a few women's tag teams. I'm not talking about Dakota Kai and Kairi Sane or Asuka and Kairi Sane. I'm talking about the Kabuki Warriors. I'm talking about a name for the tag teams. Okay. The only one I can think of since now is the Complaint Department. Like what? I don't even remember the name. When you had Chelsea Green and whoever, I don't even remember. Give me some tag teams in this division, and really set up the division. If you have two champions on two different brands. You have the two of the best women in the business right now. Rhea Ripley is on fire. She's on another level. Bayley is exactly where she needs to be. This is going to be her high point of her career. She's kind of peaking right now. Next, obviously, between here and her early runs and her role model, her time with Sasha Banks, her time in NXT. This is her high point. It's her chance to really lead her brand. This is You have some of the best damn talent ever in the WWE in the women's divisions. So stop acting like it's not that way and start really putting some writing, some content, some long-term booking behind these women. Please, for the love of God. Because I'm seeing it. I'm seeing hints of it. I want to see more of it. I want it to be undisputed. I want to be undisputed that the women's divisions are the best in the business. Number 2, the tag divisions. Okay, so you split up the titles back to their respective brands. All right. The simpler option could have just been to give us a new set of tag team titles, okay, and just let the tag team champions go to each different brand and face different teams when they need to, and let it be a little bit looser amongst the tag teams and the division itself amongst the brands. But no, you wanted to split them. Okay, you went the harder route. There was a time when SmackDown had a hell of a little tag team division, right? It had like 6 tag teams, like definitive tag teams, and they could go at it, and they were able to stretch the seasons out so that these teams did not look like they were constantly fighting each other. Go back to that. You're going to have to do that. Do that for SmackDown. Do that for Raw. You have 2 significant tag teams ready to go. What do we need? We need more tag teams. We need more talent brought up from NXT. It's going to need to happen. My God. WWE desperately needs to call up NXT talent and get more established tag teams. Okay? Make it legitimate. Otherwise, what the hell are we doing? Okay? Why do we have 2 tag teams? 2 tag team championships. It diminishes the value, the quality of the titles. Okay? It tells us that you don't give a damn about tag team divisions. Even though, meanwhile, you got AEW. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've definitely, shied away from AEW as of late. But there was a time when all I could think about in terms of tag team divisions was FTR, the Young Bucks. You go see AEW and their tag team matches, you know you're in for a treat. Okay? So give me a bunch of established tag teams. On that note, everything else is looking good. Let's hope for the best. It's been great, guys. It's been a hell of a review. This is probably the longest full-blooded review that I've done maybe ever. Definitely in a long time. Put a lot of work into checking out the grades, seeing what everyone else had said, going back and watching WrestleMania twice, being at the WrestleMania show. It was amazing. This is a WrestleMania that is not like faded. Everyone's still high on it, and is going to be for the week and probably into next week. This is a WrestleMania that's going to essentially, it is literally set the tone for the year, and it's pretty much set the tone for the era. It is a new era, so this WrestleMania will be remembered for years to come. Will be brought up in discussion for years to come. Okay, and it will be remembered for as long as we enjoy this business and this thing we love called professional wrestling. Guys, it's been great. You guys have a wonderful day, wonderful time. I'm editing this video as we speak. It will be posted on Wednesday, and it will be ready for you. And you guys, let me know what you think. Hit the like, subscribe button. Put some comments in already, and I'll probably check out Dynamite tonight. See how AEW responds, and see what happens. And we'll look forward to SmackDown on this Friday. So you guys have a blessed week, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.